अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन, नुमान खान अज़ीमी, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशनल कोच। जर्नी टू ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के सफ़र में हमने बहुत सारे लोगों का इंटरव्यू किया जिनको हमने फेसबुक पे देखा या 5-6 मिनट का किसी बड़े टॉक शो में उनको सुना। क्या हम जस्टिफिकेशन कर सकते हैं कि 5-10 मिनट में उनसे सीख के उनकी ज़िंदगी का जो सफ़र है उसको फॉलो कर सकें? ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता। तो इस सिलसिले की जो कड़ियां हम लेके चल रहे हैं उसमें पहला सफ़र हमारा ह्यूस्टन में मिस्टर तनवीर अहमद के साथ है। सर माशाल्लाह आपके बारे में मैंने सुना था और जब मैंने आके आपसे पूछा तो ये तो टोटली डिफरेंट वेंचर्स निकले हैं। एज वॉरेन बफेट सेड कि डोंट पुट योर एग्स इन वन बास्केट, यू हैव मल्टीपल वेंचर्स, दिस इज योर कॉर्पोरेट हेडक्वार्टर। एक्सप्लेन व्हाट्स गोइंग ऑन हियर।
First of all, thank you so much for driving all the way from Chicago. It means a lot. 14 घंटे आपने ड्राइव की है और सोने पे सुहागा, आपको फिर मैंने रेस्ट भी करने नहीं दिया. So just want to appreciate you coming out here. यहाँ पे सर हम फास्ट फूड का भी करते हैं, यहाँ पे एनर्जी है, इंश्योरेंस सर्विसेज हैं, कार्ड्स मर्चेंट सर्विसेज हैं. So there are multiple ventures that we operate from here. Again, everything leads to the other. You start with one venture, इसके बाद आप जो है ना उसमें थोड़ा सा देखते हैं. तो मुझ में ये है कि I really like to see what is on my P&L and the balance sheet, and I try to dissect everything out of it. So once you start dissecting, एक जो मेजर आपका एक्सपेंस होता है आप उसी पे फोकस करना शुरू कर देते हैं. So when I came actually into the restaurant industry, coming from California and didn't know the meaning of deregulation. So Texas is a deregulated market in the energy sector of it, and this is how the electricity idea was generated. So in 2009, I launched my own energy company, providing services to the retail and the commercials. And then in few years, it became one of the top 10 companies in the entire state of Texas.
Let me ask you this, 2008 you started your restaurant.
I started in 2006.
And right after that you started another venture.
Another in 2009.
Those are two big ventures. How you manage both parallels?
It is, so here's the thing, you need to challenge yourself. You gotta have your competitor. We all talk about it, right? So my competitor is that I need to compete against myself.
You versus you.
It is me versus me.
I have seen your portfolio and it's very hard to comprehend. Right now, the biggest portfolio is a restaurant.
Correct.
And we have retail location. Explain me the portfolio. What's going on in that portfolio?
So in the restaurant, I'm a franchisee of KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut. We got multiple locations in 4 different states, which consists of Texas, Arizona, Nevada, and Colorado. Now I'm going to venture with Subway as well. So most likely, by the end of this year, I will probably have close to 100 Subway locations as well.
God willingly. So that will bring your portfolio to how many locations altogether? Right now?
So right now we've got close to 360, and then if we end up getting another
God
100,
willingly.
so 460.
माशाल्लाह. सर हमारे यहाँ पे तो एक लोकेशन लेके किसी चीज़ की हम कहते हैं बस थक गए हैं. How you are expanding your capacity?
It's a little myth that you need to solve, and that myth is it's very hard to work in one location, and as you start expanding, you need to start delegating your responsibilities as a true leader. As a true leadership, when you come into this kind of a venture, when you come into the business side of it, a true leader starts delegating. A true leader starts developing leaders. You don't want to basically have followers coming in your organization. If you don't have leaders in your organization, then you get tired. I don't get tired.
Correct me if I'm wrong. David Novak, CEO of Yum, a great writer, he called top leadership of his management, and you were selected one of those. Tell us about the last selection before he was writing the book. How many people were selected and the incidents you shared with me?
So there were 70 people. He was writing a book called Taking People With You. I have so much respect and I admire him as one of the greatest leaders. who has influenced me a lot. I mean, I learned a lot from him during his leadership classes. So for the last 5 years, he was giving a class to all the people he was inviting from all over the world among 3 different brands. I was invited in 2011, and then same year, that was his last year before the book was published, I got invited again. And I was kind of surprised, why am I being invited
Twice.
two times in the same year? And that's how I came to know that he picked in the last session among all the people who were invited in the last 5 years. So been very fortunate and lucky to be one of those top 70 people at that time. So during the class, he was talking about how to be a truth teller and giving an example of walk the talk. And one of the exercise was, pick a leader on your table and hold him accountable how to be a truth teller. And I thought, and I challenged myself, who could be a better leader than him? So why not even go and talk to him? And this is what he was kind of surprised that, why am I talking to him? So I really challenged him about something. He didn't have the answer. He was just kind of surprised and shocked. I mean, sometimes you have to really shock people to
Get
bring them
into
out
their
of
face.
To me, it's like they're in their comfort zone. Once you are at that level, it's kind of a very natural for you to be in a comfort zone. That who's going to challenge me? I'm the leader. I'm just leading them from with my examples and all that stuff. But for me, you don't get tested unless you're challenged. And this is what I did. I challenged him, and to my surprise, and the reason I respect him the most is very next day, he admitted, he thanked me. Not only he thanked me, he said, we need more people like you. So this is a motivation that I got from him in one line. That's an example of a true and inspiring leader.
If, pardon my research, didn't a great deal came out of that conversation?
Yeah, that is a separate thing. But since we're talking about the leadership, so I like to focus on the leadership.
Art of negotiating. I heard while we were discussing before the interview, you had great skill set when it comes to art of negotiating. If you have to give me the top 3 rules of negotiating.
What is in it for me? If I have to work hard, it should benefit me. Why should I pay you for the future potential when my blood and sweat is there?
I heard win-win situation. In this case, what you say?
There's no win-win situation in any situation. Unfortunately, you need to make it work. You need to win it. So there is no win-win situation at all.
In transformation, we say you have to unlearn what you have learned before and relearn. It's almost 3 hours we're together. All my beliefs, all my quotations like win-win situation, you just debunked that one. You had really, really good philosophies. And I'm putting you in front of the camera, and that's the first googly coming in, sir. Would you put a mastermind class where you hand select people like David Novak did? Would you do that for us, Zoom, or maybe in person?
Absolutely, I always do it within my organization.
No, we need to handpick. Again, as I said, handpick leaders from all over the world who are Pakistanis, who are not there what you have achieved, and bring them here or somewhere.
If there is a way for me to share my experience and share my philosophy among others, why not?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here is an invite to you. If you are a leader in any part of the world, Australia, Pakistan, Middle East, England, Mr. Tanweer Ahmed is going to put together all his philosophy and win-win situation. Or what is your philosophy?
My philosophy is being honest, show your integrity, and be loyal.
So those 3 things any businessman is looking is integrity,
honesty, and loyalty.
How to build that?
You cannot build it. It comes within yourself. It comes naturally how you are brought up from your childhood, how your family members, your teachers, your friends, your bosses influences you. So you really cannot build it.
What if somebody is unlucky and been around those people?
There is no such a word, unlucky or lucky, in my philosophy. I don't believe on that.
Please explain.
Well, it's you got to be at the right time and at the right place. This is how you started, and then it's your efforts. These are your decisions that you take. You cannot just depend on others. I'll give you a very good example. I bring you a cup of coffee. It's hot, fresh. If you let it sit there for an hour, it is going to be cold. Are you unlucky that you did not have a cup of hot coffee? No, it is not that. It was your effort. You delayed your efforts because you did not pick it up at the right time. It was at the right place, but like I said earlier, it has to be at the right time at the right place. I brought you at the right place, but your timing was bad. So you are not unlucky. It is your effort. It was your decision. You did not.
Over 3 decades of entrepreneurship, if you have to go back those 3 decades and give few advice to the young, handsome Tanweer Ahmed, what would be the advice, knowing what happened?
I think you need to really start from somewhere. And that starting point should come with your loyalty. You got to be loyal and precise with whatever you do in your life. Okay, then if you're honest to yourself, it starts with you. If you are not honest to yourself, how can you be honest to others? So it's your hard work, but on the other hand, it's your honesty, it's your loyalty that goes along with it. So there are multiple steps. You cannot just focus on one thing. You know what, I'm a very hard worker and I'm not getting any chances. You do get chances, but sometimes you are not even ready to accept or avail those chances.
Talking about the chances, your cricket is your passion or profession?
It is a passion. More than a passion, it is the legacy that I want to leave behind. And I like to share with you is when I was a kid growing up in Sialkot in a small village, we had a very small ground, but it was one of those grounds where even the clubs, they used to come from the city to play. The emotional touch that I had over there was all the parents used to come by saying, our kids. So there's a difference between us and we, me versus us. So when you hear about, all the parents, our kids are playing, they are truly resonated here. Why did they say that? I got this answer when I moved to US, and within a year, that ground was taken away and there was a school built. And unfortunately, kids were unable to play there. So what happened at that time was there were a lot of kids who used to come over there. They got into the drugs. They didn't have any good sports. They didn't even have a good habit. And all of a sudden, everything just started falling apart. And I think there are a lot of kids, they deviated from their original targets. I was lucky enough that I actually migrated to US at that time. So when things got settled in my life, this is exactly how it started. What do I need to do to give back to the community? Yes, America is a blessed country, and I am blessed to be here in this blessed country. And at that time, I really wanted to basically do something where I can take kids away from these bad habits, from being drug addictives. And the whole idea was, if I can make a difference in someone's life each year, maybe that was the reason I came to this country. So that is a legacy that I will be leaving behind.
Finding your life purpose, did you find it already?
I think my purpose of life is, helping others.
That's a very vague one.
It's not a vague one. You need to, it's very precise. You take it as a cricket. Okay. I like to help in the education sector side of it. There was a girls' high school in our village. I made a lot of efforts to convert it into the college by adopting that school, we are going to deliver actually on August 16th in Pakistan
This year.
this year.
And I that was the conversation your manager called. So what is the name of the village?
Ada.
Adda.
Yeah.
Adda. So what is the name of the university or college?
So it is going to be higher secondary college right now. You gotta go one step at a time, and then it will be given to the bachelor and hopefully to the university level, which I doubt it at this point. But most likely, once we deliver the building, plan is to invite even American Consulate General over there, American Ambassador as well, in the presence of Punjab Governor. And at that time, I'm going to basically, humbly request to the governor to allow us to have bachelor classes over there as well.
Why don't we take this moment, as we already are in the recording, and let's take this few seconds and address what you're doing on August 5th, and we will take the clipping and we will make it out there. So go ahead, talk to your audience and tell what your vision of what you're doing in your city.
So in the city, what I'm doing is basically trying to promote the education to those individuals, especially in the girl side of it, where they're unable to go to the city to get some higher education. So first thing that I did was 2 years ago, I adopted a primary school, and we made it very kind of a state-of-the-art primary school, where if you go to the Sialkot, I think it is probably one of the best primary school that you will see.
And it
completely renovated it.
Where it is?
It's in Sialkot.
Sialkot.
It's in the city of Sialkot.
City of Sialkot.
Yes. So it is completely renovated. I funded it 100%. And then the next challenge that I took was, how do I convert the girls' high school to the college? Because within like a 5-mile radius, there's no government girls' college. And those girls, they go almost 7 to 8 kilometers.
And it's in the city of Sialkot. It's really hard.
And it is pretty hard to go there due to the
transportation
traffic.
And the infrastructure is not as developed.
And thankfully, I was able to pull it off. Thanks to Education Minister Murad Ras at that time, he listened to me for like 10 minutes and he was convinced. And my philosophy is, either convince me. You can convince me that you're convinced. So you do what I ask you to do.
Definitely.
So it was kind of a similar situation with Murad Ras Sahib, and he accepted my request, gave me the permission, and look where we are today. So in about a year and a half, we are going to, it took me a year and a half to deliver the building, and on August 16th, we will be delivering the building. And the next step is going to be take it to the bachelor level.
So, thank you very much, Mr. Tanweer Ahmed, that you are adopting your hometown city. I will request you to please showcase that to us so other people can follow your footsteps, because sir, we have followed so many South Asians have followed you in our restaurant industry and wants to be like a tycoon like you in the when it comes to acquiring the territory of the whole state. I'm going to switch little gears over here. 5 cricket ground in a country like America, where we cannot put one ground for so many decades. What was this vision?
Well, it all started actually with opening up 1 to 2 grounds. My philosophy is think big, big happens. So originally I bought 14 acres to develop only 2 cricket grounds, and then all of a sudden it just came to my mind, if I want to do it, I gotta do it in a much bigger scale. And all of a sudden this MLC started happening, and now that I'm part of the MLC. I have a team. I'm part of the Texas Super Kings.
May I interrupt you over here? A lot of people don't know what is MLC, because there's so many MLCs in the around here. Explain the vision and the leadership and what is happening, please.
So MLC is equivalent to like PSL or IAPL. So it's the name of the league, Major League Cricket in USA, which is starting on July 13th of this year. We've been working on the background for last almost 4.5 years. There are going to be 6 teams this year. One is Texas team. There is a team out of Washington, D.C., San Francisco, Los Angeles, Seattle, Washington, and New York, New Jersey. So two teams are taken 100%. One is Mumbai Indians in New York, New Jersey. Second one is Shah Rukh Khan's team, Kolkata Knight Riders, out of San Francisco. And then Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella took over Seattle, Washington, and then Shantanu from Adobe, he took over the San Francisco. And then there is a Bahitia family out of Washington, D.C. who has that team. So we're starting with 6 teams, and in about 3 years, we'll have a first spin-off, and then we'll have 2 more teams. And since I have a first right of refusal, I will have my own team in Houston, hopefully.
Sir, why don't you go get a team in PSL?
I tried it. I tried my level best back in 2007 when there was a team addition in Multan. Unfortunately, we don't belong to that breed. That breed is, you gotta have, put it this way, you have 2 hands. Your both hands should be filled. One with butter and one with, हम उर्दू में कहते हैं चूना इसको ना, मक्खन और चूना आप साथ लेके चलते हो
तो पाकिस्तान में काम होता है।
तो पाकिस्तान में काम होता है। So I don't belong into that breed.
तो हुजूर चूना तो बहुत लगा होगा आपको इतने सालों में।
नहीं, मैंने नहीं लगने दिया। This is what I'm trying to tell you, that I don't belong in that breed. I know how to save myself.
हुजूर वाला, if we open the door again of a conversation, they are out there, and we come to your, terms. Would you like to talk to us in a PCB?
No. I'm done with it.
Oh my God.
I'm done with it.
It's so pathetic.
It's an old saying. Let me explain it to you. It's an old saying. If you're bitten once, it's okay. If you are bitten twice by putting your hand again in front of a snake, it's stupid. And you do it again, 3rd time, you're dead. There was a 1 chance in 2017. They missed the boat. It's their loss, not my loss. And I'm not stupid to go back again.
As a serial entrepreneur, successful portfolio, as a visionary leader for the cricket fraternity, you are setting the stage for us, which is unmatchable. And you are the heavyweight champion in America when it comes to cricket, because I have been doing a research on who's who of cricket. What you did in last 2 years is unmatchable. They say first mover or fastest mover. I have seen in your portfolio, you have always been a fastest mover. Sir, where this all skills come from?
It's your upbringing. How do you really spend your early part of your life? When a small child is growing, especially at the age of 10, the circumstances that kid is in, the pressure that he takes at that time truly set the stage for the rest of the life. Unfortunately, when our kids are born, they are in a different capacity, they are in a different environment. They don't know what we have gone through, and that is probably the reason. It's an old saying, first generation makes it, second generation basically enjoys it, third one breaks it, and then it takes another 2-3 generations for them to start again. You see, so this truly fits here. And what we have done, like me and my wife, is we have developed a lot of skills in our kids. Yes, they're born with a silver spoon in their mouth, but one thing that we made them realize is nothing is guaranteed in life. You need to earn it. You don't earn it, you don't belong to my organization. Yes, we love you as a kid, but I'm sorry.
You don't belong here. You have a high standard for yourself and for your family also.
So I will rather basically donate it. If you're not in it, that's fine with me. It's your life, your choice. This is what the Americans say that. Good luck.
Sir, this work ethic, did you get it from your parents? Tell me about your entrepreneur journey.
So work ethics actually, it's not many people will tell you, but in my humble opinion, when you're like 6 or 7 years, Your work ethic starts at that time. It comes from your parents. I'm blessed to have my parents who taught me at the age of 6 and 7, you need to make your own bed. When you finish eating, make sure you take your utensils and put it in the sink instead of leaving it on the table. So you start working at that time. That develops your brain, which transforms when you become older and you start working in your practical life. But if we don't start with our kids at the age of 6 or 7,
it's hard to
it's
build that.
very hard. It's impossible. By the time kids miss the boat.
Do you have siblings? If so, did anybody join your journey?
We're 5 brothers.
MashaAllah.
Even like you're born in the same household, with the same biological parents, not everyone is same. Not everyone thinks out of the box. Sometimes 1 out of 2, 1 out of 5 in my case, they think out of the box. I try to break shackles. That's what I am good at. This is what I learned at the age of 7, 8 years. Breaking the shackles is going to be the key of your success.
Street smartness, where that came from?
Again, it comes basically when you grow up. You gotta fight for your rights. And unfortunately, in America, our kids are not street smart because first, they don't know what their rights are. If someone is trying to snatch something, they just give it to them because they don't want to fight. And this is where your street smartness comes in. You know what? This is my thing. How dare you snatch from me? I'm not going to let it go. I'm going to settle it with you. And this is how you start basically developing your brain skills. This truly helps you to negotiate within yourself what works for you and what you need to do in your life and what you need to achieve in your life. A good example is, I'm a 10-year-old boy. We're playing cricket. He has a bat. Does this mean that he's the only batter among ourselves? No. You get out, you better leave. Otherwise, I'm not going to bowl you. Oh, no, I'll give you after another 10 minutes and all that. No, sir. You're out. But someone has to take a stand. So if you don't take a stand, what you're doing is you're demoralizing yourself. You're demoting yourself. But if you take a stand, you're setting up the example. And you're building confidence in yourself. Once you start building confidence within yourself, sky's the limit.
Talk about the confidence. I saw the second generation, leading this organization shoulder to shoulder to you. When you take him to the networking events, does he follow you? How you train him when you go out in the field?
Well, my life is a very open book in front of my kids. Even though when they were at the age of 7, 8, or 10, me and my wife, we used to tell them where we were, where we are today. And my goal has always been to them is, look where I started. Without any guidance, without any knowledge, without any lot of money. If I can get here and you got investment, you got me, what will it stop you to make it 10 times more? So this is how we have challenged these kids. And the only reason we're getting into the subway right now is at that very fast pace because he has accepted that challenge.
That's a lucky father to have the next generation coming in.
No. I disagree with all due respect to you. There is no lucky or unlucky here. It is all about you making the efforts, making the right choices, making the right decisions.
Is he inheriting your cricket passion?
The youngest one, he is.
Okay, mashallah. So you have, both.
So they have divided their responsibility.
Very
what they
good,
want- what
very
they want to do.
nicely. So who's leading the philanthropic effort with you?
So it's everybody. So this is something, like in my humble opinion, everyone needs to take initiative. Everyone needs to join hands and all that. So there is not one kid that I can pinpoint, what, you are going to take this lead on philanthropy or, no. Got to do that. I mean, one thing that my mother taught is you need to be a giver, not a receiver. If you continue to give, Allah will continue to reward you.
Talking about giving, sir, I do understand that a lot of Pakistani, we want to do something for Pakistan, and the leadership is not there. They don't believe in self-development or learning about that. They believe in the bashing of others. Let's switch flavor over here and come to politics. What's your political views generally, and then particularly Pakistan?
Well, I don't like to get involved too much in the politics, even though a lot of people have asked me, even on the Democrat side here, Republican side here, to join hands. And at one point, I did want to get into it, but then I decided I can serve much better in the background of it. When it comes to the politics side of it, in Pakistan especially, this is what I say in Pakistan is, it's very hard to be on the same page with your leader within one party over there. So if your party does not have a mandate, it does not have a vision, how do you work? I'll give you a good analogy of American politics. They look at it 40, 50 years from today. That's the beauty of American politics. They don't keep their differences when they're debating about the future of America. They keep their differences aside.
Agree.
Okay. Whereas in Pakistan, we only focus on the next election. And unfortunately, it is killing our nation. It is demoralizing our younger generation.
Okay, let me go directly to the point. You get the chance to lead Pakistan. You have 100 days. What is your 100 days plan?
First, and the foremost thing that forget about me, anyone needs to do is work on somehow getting rid of madrasas. Second thing is you need to really work on the education system. Third one is to work on your judiciary. So these are the three mandates. If you just work on these three things in 100 days, trust me, no one can stop Pakistan to progress.
Sir, I'm going to wrap up this interview because this is just the first episode of our interview, because there is so much to learn just from your corporate side of it, then your leadership side of it, and the negotiating, and then your passion of cricket and where you are taking. I will take this opportunity to request you that please give more time going upcoming years, because this is also giving side.
Absolutely.
Dollar and giving them some, giving them a fish or teaching them how to fish. So I have learned so much that I really needed. I went out down there, took a break, and comprehend so much knowledge you have. So please don't shy away and give us your time so we can take it and deliver to the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So you did have a commitment for a mastermind session. We're gonna pick some movers and shakers of every region and bring it and learn in America for a retreat of a 1 week or so. So that's first commitment. Second commitment of you giving the intellectual philanthropy side of your brain, because that's what we really need. So last, if I give you 2 minutes and you have to, this is your last recording, which is going to be heard from your great grandkids and the world, and you have 2 minutes to address, sir. Go ahead, sir.
It starts within yourself. It starts with you being honest to yourself, being loyal to yourself. This is how you can come into this world and start exploring. If you don't have these things, then this lucky and unlucky phenomena comes into your mind. But if you follow these steps, sky is the limit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tanweer Ahmed. It was a pleasure. Just being in your aura, it gives you a feeling of a strong man, and I really appreciate giving your time.